In continuation with the previous video, so shall we continue with the energy efficient lighting control systems. First thing is, as we discussed, occupancy sensor. For example, in your classrooms, if no one is there, means this type of sensors can be fitted: high infrared sensors, ultraviolet radiation sensors, and microwave sensors, which will detect the occupancies and either switch on or off the lighting appliances. One form of control, and the second thing is time-based control. So, in a preloaded method, you can fix the timing, and this lamp can operate for 2 hours, and that too for particularly between these hours and these hours, evening 6 to morning 6 or something. So that is another control, and the another control is daylight control. So when your daylight dims, that is around the evening 6 o'clock, your photoelectric cells will detect the same thing and will switch on the lighting. And similarly, during the sunrise, when there is a sunrise starts, then this system will go for switch off and or dimming. So that is another type of control which will reduce the energy cost. And localized switching, this is important, and that means in our classrooms the switchboards are given in only one locations, and which creates the lethargicness in switching on off the switches from the last bench to first bench, and that's why most of the time we are not doing that switching off and on process. Instead of that, you think that your switchboards may be distributed in 4 locations. Nearby the backbench, some switches, and nearby the rightmost corner and leftmost corner we have a localized, which means obviously human tendency will do it the switching process very easily. So that is also promote the energy conservation, and you cannot distribute the switches to so many locations, but you can distribute to the as much as possible depending upon the room size. Next thing is some are good practices in lighting, and wherever you have a conventional fluorescent lamp, you can replace with energy efficient fluorescent lamps, one possibility. And wherever you have an incandescent lamp, and that also you can replace with compact fluorescent lamps. Wherever you have a sodium vapor lamp, you can replace with metal halide lamps. And wherever you have a requirement of low color rendering text, in such cases you can go for high pressure sodium vapor lamp, which has a high efficiency as well as high lifetime. And in a night lamps, you may see that there is a filaments which consumes around 5 watts or more than that, and in that filament can be replaced with LED panels. So this you can easily see in your refrigerators. When you open the door, and most probably in olden days the filament lamp will work. Nowadays they are replaced with LED panels which consumes less than 1 watt, but the same illumination will be provided. And another thing is installation of high frequency electronic panels in place of conventional panels, as we discussed in the case study, which reduced almost 6 watts or 7 watts of losses, right? And these are about the lighting system. So now we will move towards the next topic, that is what is your course objective. Next course objective is on the mechanical equipments. See here the course objective 4. Yes, identify the potential energy conservation aspects in mechanical equipments, which is only the understand level. So you need to just know what is what these things. There won't be any problem on this topics. So let me start the CO4, and particularly with an when you detail about the CO4, which was combining of 3 or 4 devices in the mechanical. So here in the mechanical equipments, we need to discuss about the compressed air system as a one appliances. Another one is HVAC and refrigeration system, second, and fans and blowers is a third, and fourth is pumps, and fifth is cooling towers. Now we will start with the compressed air system, and all these while completing all these five mechanical equipments, we can able to complete the course objective 4, right? So now the compressed air system. Why these 5 appliances in the mechanical system is important means, with respect to the compressor only converts 10 to 30% of energy into useful form of energy. That means in whatever you are giving an input, almost 70% goes as a loss, only 10% is delivered as compressed air. So what is the meaning of that? There is a wide scope for improvement of energy saving in this compressor. That's why it is taken as one important appliances. Another thing is, to operate the pneumatic tools and equipments, and most of the industry utilizing these compressors. The usage of the compressor is high, whereas the loss is also high. So that's why this was taken as an important unit. And the preliminary knowledge about the compressor. The compressors are classified into majorly classified into 2 categories: positive displacement compressors and dynamic compressors. The positive displacement compressor is nothing but any medium, that is your air compressor, air or anything, fluid or something, the volume is reduced, thereby your pressure increases. That is the basic principle. Whereas in the dynamic compressors, which will be called with the name of centrifugal compressor, the velocity of the working fluid is increased, and thereby the pressure increases. So that is the difference between these 2 compressors. And now the positive displacement compressor can be classified as reciprocating compressor and rotary compressors. Dynamic will be classified as axial and radial. We will see one by one about the major compressors: reciprocating, rotary and dynamic compressors. This is with respect to the reciprocating compressor. Hope you understand that this is comes under the category of positive displacement compressor. You imagine a chamber or syringe-like arrangements. There will be a piston, and there will be inlet arrangement and outlet arrangement. This indicates the basic understanding of compression. And what we do, while move this piston backwards, this valve will be open. It consumes as possible as maximum amount of air. When you move this side, this will be closed, and outlet valve is also closed, and when you move this direction, the volume is reduces, thereby the compressed air will be produced via this opening, right? And which is the most widely used compressor. Water pumps in all the cases you have these compressors. In your refrigerators you have this type of compressors. In your air conditioning units you have this type of compressors, and there are so many applications. The compressor capacity is directly proportional to the speed of this piston movement, forward and backward movements. If there is a fast forward and backward, the compressor capacity will increase. Output as pulsating one means on a working cycle you will have a high pressure outlet. On a non-working cycle, that is in the reverse movement, you have a less amount of air pressure. That's why your compressor water pumps will deliver the water for particular time, and then ideal for some time, and then again it delivers the water, and that's why it is a pulsating one. And types, yes, based on the lubrication, lubricated, need to separate oil from the air. So oil lubrication system, you need to separate the two systems, oil circulation system, which should be separated apart from the air systems. Non-lubricated and high specific compressor kilowatt per cubic unit per mechanical cubic feet. Sorry, name. I will clarify in the next class, right? And single or multi-cylinder types, water cooled or air cooled types, and single cylinder can withstand this much amount of temperature. Multi-stage, single stage can have a temperature of this much. Multi-stage will reduce the temperature to 140 to 160 degrees Celsius. Thereby your working fluid temperature will reduce, which is an advantageous one. And another is a rotary compression. So here, simple thing is, this piston movement is a linear movement, up and down movement. If you move the compressor in a screw type movement, that will be called as rotary compression. Rotary replaces the piston system. Output is pulsation free. You get a continuous output and requires a low starting torque prime mover. To operate the piston, you need a motor, and motor will be called with the name of prime mover, and that prime mover should have low starting torque characteristics, and which is a vibrationless and less failure rate, and types of Roots blower, and which is a low pressure one, screw compressors, and no valve is required, oil free and lubricated type can go up to this CFM, right? And these are the screw type or roots type compressors. And in this movement, we replace the piston movements, right? And another one is dynamic compressors, and the rotor or impeller changes the momentum into the pressure. That means your velocity will be increased, and thereby your pressure increases. Oil free, there is no cooling oil, and thereby there is no mixing of oil with your working fluid or something. Continuous duty compressor, which can be operated continuously and suited for high volume applications, and types based on the impellers, axial and radial types. And here, what are all the factors you need to consider for efficient operation of compressor means, the main thing is location of the compressor. Performance improves with cool, clean and dry air. So if you prefer a environment with all these constraints, which has a cool air, clean air and dry air, your performance of the compressor will increase. Cool air intake, how it reflects on the efficiency means every 4% rise in inlet air temperature results in higher energy consumption by 1%. So inlet air temperature increase aayirchna, outlet temperature increase agum. So the compression process may not be efficient. So to make it as efficient, it takes higher energy, that is 1%. So what is the meaning of here is, suppose the input temperature is 40 degree and it consumes amount of power means, if the input temperature is reduced by 36 degree, your compressor energy consumption reduced by 1%. And similarly, the dust-free air intake. Dust intake, excess wear and tear will happen and need air filter replacements or other things, and that's why dust-free air is important. Dry air intake, moisture carrying capacity of the air decreases with increase in pressure